What's up guys, it's the Floaty and welcome back to another video. Today's video is sponsored by Manscaped. Not really. I just happen to have one and the box is just sat here. It is very good for, well, I'm sure those of you that know it will know what it's used for. You can probably guess by the name. But anyway, welcome back to another video. Today's another one of those special videos where I talk about some mental health stuff, but this time in a bit more of a positive light as we talk about my journey. I'll probably title it 2020, so it's a nice sequel to the 2019 one, but it's sort of the back end of 2019 and 2020, and my sort of improvement with mental health after that video. Well, the first video really last year. No, sorry, the video was this year. The issue arose last year, midway through around June, July time, and then I made the video on it earlier this year, back in January, and this is sort of the sequel to that one. I did make another video back in May around mental health in the university capacity, and talking about the stresses of university and how you can sort of balance that with your normal life. But this is again going back to that more general mental health topic and talking about how I've sort of improved in that respect over the last year and a bit. So this actually has been a quite good last week or so, because I just finished uni now 4 days ago, 5 days ago even. Well, it's 12:30 on Monday morning, so 4-ish days ago. I submitted my last task, which means uni is now in the rearview mirror, and I've gone straight from that into working a full-time schedule, more than full-time, really, with overtime and all that, but I'm on casual rates, so the payday is coming. Like the winter was once coming in Game of Thrones, the pay is now coming. But yeah, going back to the whole mental health thing, the point of this video, in that last video earlier this year, the January one where I talked about the whole mental health struggle last year, I went over how I just finished the uni semester rather, how I wasn't working at the time, so day after day I was just sort of this endless cycle. What Groundhog Day is what it's called, I believe, where I was just waking up, not doing a whole lot, watching YouTube, just hanging out, chilling, playing games, whatever, going to bed, rinse and repeat day after day, and how that sort of cycle started to wear on my mind, wear on my head, and really drag me down into a pretty dark point in my life. And now, well, not long after that, obviously, July 10th was when I started at Big W, the job that I'm still at now, and that sort of balance with university is a big part of what brought me back to the place I'm at now, which is a very positive one, a far better one than I was a little over a year ago. But there are some other factors too that brought me back to a more positive space, and I'll talk about those now. So obviously, I mentioned just not having a lot to do being a big part of what dragged me down, and work being a sort of constant that's kept me going out, kept me active, kept me doing stuff, and it's also an environment that's helped me, how can I word this best, feed my drive to be better. I sort of feel the need to improve on who I am, what I'm doing, and sort of being in a void where I'm not doing anything was part of what really dragged me down, feeling like I was stationary, not the section of the Big W story, stationary as in still in life, and just not really moving forward, not really having a direction, not really improving or getting better or anything like that. And Big W has been an opportunity for me to learn again, for me to push myself, for me to be working, moving forward, and particularly now where I'm going into a full schedule, we're heading into Christmas, where I'm far more active. I'm on Monday to Friday now, and I'm also trusted in a bigger capacity where I'm looking over the team and watching everyone at times where the managers and such aren't able to. I'll be the person who sort of steps in just to keep an eye on everyone. Not that I'm the perfect employee by any means, not that I know anything. I'm certainly not to the levels of the managers that we have and all of that, but at times when they're doing other things, it sort of falls to me to be the guy to steer the ship, at least on the floor, and just make sure everyone's getting on all right and that we're moving. So that sort of change in my life where I'm working more and I'm improving in a role and starting to take on more responsibility, it's been a real boost for me. A boost for me generally, to just sort of feel better about what I'm doing, to feel like life's going somewhere, I'm moving somewhere, even if I won't be big W forever. It's something now that I'm doing and wanting to be better. Even if I'm not the best, I'm trying to be at least decent, you know. And I think that's a big thing for mental health, is just feeling like you're motivated in life and that you're going somewhere and you're striving for something. We all have our different motivations. For me, it's activity. For me, it's improvement, direction, all those things, which are probably parts. We have part of that within all of us. At least I would believe. I would hope that we all feel like we have some direction or motivation to strive for direction. But whatever your motivating factor is, I think striving for that, fighting for it and achieving it is a big thing to getting yourself back on the right course. Now, obviously, with my university mental health video, I talked about not pushing yourself beyond the limit, because there is that balance where you push yourself to a level that you feel like you're active, you're improving, you're getting better, but it's also about not pushing yourself beyond that to the point that you feel like you're actually hurting yourself personally and you're affecting yourself negatively. Like I talked about in that university video, working so hard on assignments and things to the point that it was driving me insane, to the point that, you know, I was setting these goals for myself that at the time seemed unrealistic and was creating a workload that was beyond my capacity to achieve at the time with the state I was in, and sort of balancing that and coming to terms with that and accepting the predicament you're in and who you are and sort of the limit that you can push for. And I think coming to terms with that is another big thing that even I'm still coming to grips with now, particularly as I was talking about in that work related instance, where I really feel a pressure to work as hard as I can and take on extra hours, and at points that may be detrimental to me, and it's something I have to learn to balance and prioritize myself, because ultimately, yeah, your own happiness, and if I relate to myself personally, my own happiness and my own comfort is more important than work, is more important than even uni. You know, people will say uni defines your whole future and that you need to do as good as you can, but as good as you can is also as good as you're comfortable with. If you're pushing yourself to the point that it's detrimental to your life overall outside of the task that you're doing, then really that's not your best. It's beyond it. And even though it might improve you in one capacity, it may affect you negatively far worse in a whole nother facet of your life. So yeah, that balance is very important. At least in my opinion, at least for me, it has been very important in getting myself to the place I'm at now. But yeah, what else? I've started, I think I talked about this in another video and I haven't been as consistent with it lately, but writing down notes, almost like a diary thing every day, has been an interesting aspect I added to my life, where I was just taking notes of things that were happening and how I felt about them, and getting pen to paper, and more importantly, ideas to paper and thoughts to paper, and sort of digesting them and thinking about them is something that has been good for me. And you know, as I'm even reflecting about it now, as I'm recording this video, it's something I should try and get back to, but work has sort of gotten in the way of that, you know, working ridiculous hours, 40 plus hours last week, and just not feeling like I really want to write anything, that I'd instead want to just relax and watch videos and everything. But that's something I'll hopefully with routine try to get back to. And speaking of routine, something that I've spoken about in many videos, the whole fitness and working out thing. Again, a routine I've just let fall completely by the wayside. I still have a punching bag stood over there in that corner that hasn't been touched in legit months, which I hate to say. I was even going to work out tonight, but things got in the way of that, and I just ended up not feeling up to it. But in the coming week, even though I will be working every day, I'm going to try and make myself work out after work every day. Again, not to the point that it's detrimental, as I was talking about before. If it's affecting me negatively, if it's making me sick or causing me pain or whatever, then obviously that's when you stop and you don't push yourself to that limit. But if it's achievable, if it's doable, and if I can fit it in and do it to a standard I'm happy with, then yeah, that's something I want to work in to my whole routine and schedule, along with the diet, because I'm a bit bigger than I used to be. I'm not exactly the slim shady without the shady that I want to be, especially approaching summer, which is like a week away. We hit December. I would like to be, you know, ripped, but I'm probably not going to get that this year. But if I start working out, getting on a better schedule, then that might be something I can achieve coming into next year, you know? And that's another thing, not pushing myself for an unrealistic result. Again, just not trying to overwork myself, thinking, oh, summer's next month, I need to get shredded straight away, so I'm going to eat half a meal every 4 days and then just get really shredded but make myself feel like shit every day. You know, it's again that balance. And I feel like a big thing of this video has been balance, creating a balance in your life, balancing workload, mental health, happiness, you know, while also keeping active and determined and motivated. And yeah, it is a challenge to balance all of these factors, but if it's something we can work towards, if it's something that we can work on, I think it's something that will benefit all of us overall as we move through life. And this video, a big part of this video for me, and this was a strategic decision, was that I didn't really write any notes on this video. Well, I say I didn't really, I just flat out didn't write any notes on this video of what I was going to say beforehand. I just wanted to come here and openly talk about what's been happening with me without putting any thought behind it that's like, dude, make it seem almost disingenuous. I didn't want to create dot points of like the 5 things that improved my mental health. This is just what's come to me and what stood out to me while I reflect on my last year or so. And they've been some of the big things as I've sort of come from this place that was far darker, that was negative, that was, you know, a negative view of myself, a negative view of the circumstances around me, where I was at, where I was heading, at least where I thought I was heading. You know, at that time, I was thinking I had no direction, no future with the situation I was in at that time. But the reality of the situation was that I was a month away from starting at Big W. I was in the midst of a university year in which I got distinctions across the board, and you know, maybe my perception of how I was going and what I was doing was a bit twisted based on just a few circumstances that weren't where I wanted them to be at that time. But now, with some changes to my approach to life as a whole, with some changes to my mental attitude, and yeah, just circumstances as a whole, I've been able to make a lot of improvements to those situations to now be at the place I'm at now, which, yeah, as I say, I'm stoked now. I've just finished university. I'm happy with how I've done, regardless of how I go. I might get distinction average. I might end up just credit. I'm sort of on that borderline. And we'll have to see how marks go if they fall in my favor. I'm thinking they will. I'm thinking they should. I feel very happy with the assignments I submitted, and I think they're distinction worthy enough to drag me out. But if it doesn't go my way, then I know that I'm happy with the work I put in. I know I feel like I gave my all in those circumstances, which now is something I'm happy to accept within myself, which a year ago, maybe I would have been happy with the work that I put in and the effort I'd given, and then I would have seen the results, and all of that effort would have gone out the window, and I would have forgotten it and been down on myself thinking you didn't work hard enough, obviously, because it's not shown in the results. But you have to remember context in all of these situations and where you're at, what you put into it. And, you know, yeah, for me, that's remembering that I put in an endless amount of work on some of these assignments, constant all-nighters, watching the sunrise while I'm working on assignments, and still working 5 8-hour shifts the next day, balancing uni assignments with a chaotic work schedule, and doing my best as I can in all aspects, which is something I really stand by and believe in myself, regardless of how I do in any circumstance. I know I give it my all in all of those circumstances. I put my all into uni assignments, even though I might not get high distinctions. I know I'm giving all my effort into them. And same thing with work. I know I try hard at work to be a good employee, to get my stuff done. And even though I might not be the best employee, I might not always make the right decision, I am prone to a stupid mistake at times when my mind just turns off and I do something dumb as shit. But I know regardless that I'm working as hard there as I am at uni, as I am overall in every aspect of my life, except with my YouTube channel, which I have been slacking with. But hopefully now we'll begin a better routine. But yeah, I hope I've covered some aspects there of life that you can think to improve on, some things that have helped me as I've improved over the last year and a bit. As I say, I had no sheet, I had no script to this video, no direction I particularly wanted to take it in. I just wanted to reflect on some of the changes that have happened in my life and how they've sort of gotten me to where I'm at now, which is, yeah, pushing myself to a comfortable limit, working hard while also keeping myself happy and creating a balance that I'm happy with in my own life. You know, working hard on uni assignments, working hard at work itself, but also equally taking the time to relax. You know, for every hour or whatever I'd spend working on an assignment, you know, I'd also spend some time watching YouTube videos, playing video games, whatever it may be, you know, taking my time to relax, because that for me is something as important as the time spent working, because if I don't relax for a bit, then I'm not focused when I'm working and I'm just wasting time in front of a computer. So I need that relaxation to balance with my work and make me refocus again. That's just an important part of my life. And yeah, I think overall the biggest thing to take from this video is just balance. Balancing your workload with your normal life, your comfort with, you know, the stresses of life, work, uni, whatever it may be. And yeah, just achieving a happy medium, a happy middle ground, and setting achievable limits and goals that get done what you need to get done to the best you can manage with the context of your life. And yeah, just getting on as best you can and managing everything, because I think that's been a big lesson for me this year. And even tutors say it, that, you know, certain things like uni and whatever, it's not the be all and end all if you're sacrificing your own happiness and positivity and well-being for it. So yeah, take that as the lesson from this video. Not that I'm any tutor or teacher or anything, or some guide you should strictly follow. This is just me sharing my experiences and opinions with all of you. So yeah, if you've watched this far, which has been a bit of a long video, I'm saying 17 minutes 18 seconds on the recording time, thank you for watching. I do appreciate it. All the best for your own personal endeavors. And yeah, I'm going to try and make some more videos. I might even record a second one right now, so I might jump straight into that. I will see you guys over there, maybe, if you want to stick around. If not, all good. Just enjoy your life, have a good one, and I'll see you guys next time. Maybe. Take care, nothing but love, and peace.